Hey, what's up? Welcome to my live episode of Let's Talk Ghosts. Today I'm just tapping in because I have no submitted stories. So I'm just tapping into Facebook and see if I can get anybody to join me live and share some stories. I have a couple of stories up my sleeve of my own personal experiences. Get your friends here, get your creepy butts here, invite your people. Drop me a comment, let me know you're here. See, I got one viewer here. This is going to be streamed live on YouTube and Facebook, and by tomorrow night it will be uploaded onto my Spotify. So make sure you go follow my Spotify. You could just type in Let's Talk Ghosts and I'll pop up. Hey Rose, you want to join the video? Let me drop the link for you real quick. If you go and click on that link, you can join the live stream with me. Am I still live? It's connection issues. All right, sorry guys, I just had a little bit of an issue. All right, Rose, well, it's all right. You can just listen. No problem. Anybody else who wants to join, you can tap that link and join on camera with me. Tell your spooky stories. So something I did want to talk about is astral traveling. If any of you have experienced astral traveling before, drop it in the comments or tap in and join this with me. So a couple years ago, I had watched a couple of movies that were talking about astral traveling and whatnot. So that night, I tried it myself. I was laying in bed and I meditated and I fell into a deep meditation and I wasn't sleeping. I was still awake. And I remember like visualizing my spirit coming out of my body. And for those of you who don't know, astral traveling is kind of what I just said. Your spirit can leave your body and it can go travel and go to different places, mostly places that you've been to before because it's something you know how to get to. But you can travel and you can go and you can see things and you can walk around outside. And I've heard crazy stories about it, but you have to find your way back to your body. Sometimes in tragic situations, I've heard of stories where people don't find their bodies and don't wake back up. So it is a very dangerous thing to do. But, anyways, I tried to astral travel myself one night. So I was laying in bed and I was meditating and I was in deep meditation and I visualized my spirit coming out of my body. And I could actually feel my spirit. There's no really good way to explain the feeling other than feeling like an energy pull through your entire body, like your energy is leaving the solid form it is. But I did that and I felt my spirit come back up and then I felt being pushed back down. And I was like, whoa, that was weird. I literally felt pressure on my chest and my spirit went right back into my body. And I sat up and I was like, okay, maybe it just wasn't my time. Maybe it wasn't my experience to have yet. So I let it go and took my dog outside. right after that. And it was pretty dark out where we were. No lights. It's like really dark. So I usually have to have my flashlight. So I took her outside and I just felt like there was a tornado of spirits just whirling around me, just whirling and whirling. And like I was in the middle of a tornado. It was just a really intense, energetic feeling. And I like closed my eyes and I prayed to Archangel Michael. I was like, please protect me. Please make sure I'm safe. Don't let anything get me. And it stopped. And it made that feeling just stopped and I felt at peace. And that was when I knew like astral traveling is very, very dangerous. And I think that was my warning that if I was to keep practicing astral traveling, that something bad could happen to me, especially with not knowing how to do it exactly, not having the proper knowledge. Um, that was my warning. And I think Archangel Michael pushed my spirit back into my body as well because he knew that A, I would have been vulnerable, B, I don't know what I was doing, and 3, something bad could have happened to me. Who knows? But that was one of my experiences with astral traveling. Um, the second one, the second experience is last week. I was doing a remote Reiki session, and usually when I'm doing Reiki sessions, I am still within my body. I can send my energy out anywhere in the world to any person. I can connect to my spirit guides that help me connect to yours, and it can help me lead my way to you. So I'm usually still present in my body. This last time I was doing the Reiki remotely, and I was in my meditation, with my energies flowing, with my Reiki masters and my lineage, all the energies, with my headphones on, and I fell into an extremely like deep meditation. And I feel like I left my body. Um, I had in my mind, I was seeing nothing. It was just me and my client. There was nothing around us. She was hovering above the ground. So, my hands were at a relaxing kind of state to give her Reiki. And when I came back to my body had completely like, whew, okay, my head was down, everything. And when I came back to my body, it had been exactly 45 minutes since I started my Reiki session. And the reason why 45 minutes is important to me is because my Reiki sessions, depending on how much you need energy, how much healings you need, last anywhere between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. 45 minutes is the longest my sessions usually last. So 45 minutes was important to me because that validated that I had left my body and I had hit a new level of Reiki energy healing. And it was a different experience. I was kind of like dumbfounded by it. Um, didn't know what to think, but nothing bad. It was a good experience. So that was the second time that I truly believe I astral traveled. My spirit left my body and I went somewhere else. I went to a different dimension. And my client, she said that she could feel my energy everywhere throughout her body at the specific times that my hands would have been on those parts of her body. So that helped validate me as well. Um, Sharing your stories and stuff like that really helps validation. You never know if somebody else has experienced something, you have too. So it's always good to share your stories. Well, those were my 2 stories that I had up my sleeve. A little bit of astral traveling. I have a few more that I can touch base with, but I want to give somebody on here a chance to join the video or type out a story and let me read it. At least drop a comment, say hi, let me know you're here. You message Sammy. Sometimes these live videos take a moment to start taking off. So since I am talking about Reiki, my last story had to do with Reiki, I'll share some more about some energy and spiritual things I've experienced while doing Reiki. Oh, that is kind of weird, Rose. I'm not really sure on what to do because I'm not very tech savvy. My honey actually had to help me get this started. But so some of the energy things that I was telling you guys about with Reiki. So when I first got attuned to Reiki, I was doing a Reiki session on Jesse, and we had the high frequency music going, and I was doing my Reiki session, and we had a glass pipe sitting on the counter. We're potheads, but we had a glass pipe, and it started vibrating. I looked over at it, and it was vibrating. So like my energy from drawing energy in from the universe and the earth and everything around me and putting it into my wife, and it just flowing all around us was causing things in my house to react. You know, it was feeling that energy and shaking. Another time I was doing another Reiki session, and we had our dog pen set up right next to the bed, and I could hear it vibrating. I could hear little clinking sounds. So that was interesting. Um, well, thank you, Rose. I'm glad you're still here watching. Hopefully you can hear me now. If you have any ghost stories, you feel free to drop them in the comments. Got my little black kitty here, always wanting to make an appearance. Let me see here. You know, with Reiki sessions, for those of you who don't know, I am a Reiki master. So I have a few stories from that. Being a Reiki master is like opened me up spiritually a bit, has heightened my abilities. And during Reiki sessions, sometimes I get messages and visions from your loved ones who have passed away. Um, they'll stop by and they'll, want to just say, "Hey, you're doing okay. I'm still here. I love you." Um, Hello, Jupe Loof. Hopefully I said that right. Hello to you too. Thank you for joining. I'm just sharing some ghost stories. You can see it in the comments. You are on YouTube, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a link if you want to join me on my live to share some ghost stories. I would love that. Can I ask my ghost if my dead son is with me? I've never done anything like that, like on a live video, like that. It's something I'd be interested in the near future, but if you are interested in a psychic medium reading where I would connect to your son who's no longer with us, I can most definitely do that. You can find me on Facebook under Sunrayki. That's SUNRAYKI. Um, you can definitely message me on there, and I can definitely help you try to get a connection there. Hello, Zyron. Thank you for joining me. And I don't know what the thug shake is. But yes, if you're just tuning in now through YouTube or Facebook, feel free to drop your ghost stories in the comments so that we can share them here on the podcast. And if you would like to join us on this live feed, I'm going to drop the comments again. You can just click on that link and join me on here. What's up, Cameron? If you want to join on here and share some of your ghost stories. Yeah, I already missed it, Cameron. I shared my story. So this other time, I have another ghost story. Excuse me. Okay, I think my cat's gotta go. But when I was younger, my mom, she's just like me, and she likes ghosts and stuff and whatnot. And when I was younger, she took me up to this Central City cemetery, and it was a really old cemetery. It was in the middle of the night, and all of her photos on her really nice digital camera took photos all the way up there and all the way down just fine. They were beautiful pictures, but all of the pictures we took at the cemetery came out black. It was kind of weird, but while we were there, it was just a really eerie feeling, really heavy feeling. And she made me get into this old crematorium, and old crematoriums are like kind of like cylinder teepee shaped kind of brick buildings, and this one was like halfway knocked inside and exposed. So my mom, she was like, "Oh, stand inside of there so I can take a picture of you." I'm like, "Okay." And I jump in there, and I feel like a heavy presence on me. Like I had one foot in and I had one foot still on the brick because I just could not get myself in there all the way. So I was standing there, and it just felt like a heavy, heavy, heavy presence pushing down on me. And, you know, I'm pausing for a second because I have some inappropriate people joining my live. Okay. Um, but yeah, so I felt like a really heavy presence pushing down on me. And I was like, "Mom, please take the picture. Hurry up and take the picture. I can't do this anymore." And she was having like camera issues and couldn't get it to flash. And finally, she got it to flash, and I was able to jump out. And as soon as I jumped back out, I felt a lot better. I felt a lift off of me. And it was just really eerie. Like you just feel how many spirits were still stuck inside that building, even though half of it was removed. Um, while we were at that cemetery too, like a lot of the headstones had been like cracked and broken. They were all mostly from like the 1800s, so really, really old, and really old styles, like with the fences and the iron gates around the headstones and the gravesite and things like that. Um, it's something I would definitely love to do again as an adult. I think I'm done.
Then yeah.
You know what, you guys? So I want to just say I really appreciate most of you tuning in. I do definitely got to say I don't appreciate the nastiness that came on YouTube. You guys are very inappropriate and made me very uncomfortable. So I am leaving this live now. I am exiting out of this. Thank you again for the people who are honest and great people for joining me. Till next time, thank you.